Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about the ability to manage delay, waiting on things. And I'm talking just from my own personal experience running an agency and how that feels like to wait on things and why I choose to not rush to the next level. And I actually want to take time and grow where I need to grow and just having the right mindset. I think what really hit home with me was a couple months ago when I watched a video from Alex Hormozy, and he was asked the question of what kind of agency would he start, or what kind of, if he had to start over. And he basically said he would start a cold email agency for some sort of lawyer, something along those lines. And the challenge with that business is that the deal cycle is about 6 months. And so a lot of people are not able to wait 6 months until they get paid. And so he basically talked about this aspect of being able to manage delay. And the longer you can wait for your ask, the bigger the ask can be. And so again, I'm just sharing from my experience how I'm feeling this month and how I want to get to the next level so bad. I want to get to this next revenue level. To give you context, we're about $7,500 a month in reoccurring revenue. And obviously the next level will be 10K, 25K, 100K, and just all these, these goals with figuring out things on the way. And to give you context on the agency, we're a web design, web hosting, and software agency where we provide websites and we provide systems behind the websites. We do Google reviews. You can check out some of my other videos. They're more like tutorial style. And this is just me talking from my soul about the painful reality of good things take time. If you think about a tree, an oak tree just takes much longer to grow, but the wood is worth way more. It's way more resistant. The tree itself is just way more resistant to things. And this is an analogy that I understand because I grew up on a farm and I used to work with lots of woods as a carpenter. So for people to understand that there is absolute value in waiting and being able to not ask the first time and to be able to wait until the things are in place, and just the constant self-control to be able to do the quality and not the quantity, do the right thing every time. And so that's what I'm doing this month. That's what I'm doing this year, is trying to do an amazing service rather than doing more outreach and getting another client. As of right now, there's 50 paying clients every month, and it is, I'll get into that a little bit later. It's much easier to keep those 50 clients than it is to get another 50 clients. But yet I am finding myself wanting to push for another 50 clients right now when that's not the right thing to do right. All of YouTube, at least on my personal YouTube, the algorithm, puts in front of me all these videos about, oh, I got to this number a month so fast. I built this team of whatever, and this is how I did it. And I'm finding myself frustrated, not having the amount of clients that I want and not having the amount of impact that I want. But yet, we just forget that most of these people that make these videos, they actually have years and years and years of experience. They have delayed the gratification so many times. They have put in the extra work. And so for a lot of you guys out there, I just make this video to be able to say, hey, it's okay for good things to take time. Good things do take time. I'm a huge fan of, Alex Hormozy, for example, and we forget that it's been 13 years of him being one of the most intense and most intensely focused people that there is. I'm just so admired by, I've been following him for 5-6 years. I found him when he was very small, when he had 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I've been seeing his journey and how focused he is, and that's been only 3 or 4 years. And so just add another 10 years to that, and that's how long he's been doing it. And yet I find myself, wanting the instant big result and just having to tell myself, hey, it's okay for it to take time. And I'm telling you guys, it's okay for good things to take time. And if you want to start a business, you better be ready to grind and hustle for at least 2 years before you start seeing those results. And if you're selling a course, if you're an affiliate, it is very, very easy to do that. It's very like, oh yeah, cold calling is super easy. You're gonna find clients. Oh yeah, website design or website hosting with High Level, it's super easy. But then you start doing it yourself, and you just find all these mini skills that you're lacking. My personal experience is that I was working outside in construction, and then I was in outside sales. I wasn't really using a computer that much, and so like a lot of skills had to be learned, and they had to be learned as I'm doing things, as I'm fulfilling for clients, which is, I think, the best way to learn is you get someone to pay you money for something that you're going to do. And sometimes part of what you're going to do for that person is something that you've never done before, and you actually get paid to learn the skill. You know that you can find the information, it's out there, the right person, but then you still have to do it. And so it's just an incredibly slow process, and I find myself frustrated in not being at the next level right away. And I just want to remind myself it's okay for good things to take time. I think a lot of people that have really, really big success are able to manage their emotions, and they're able to desires in the moment to not gratification, but they want the long-term success. And I can think of plenty of examples, but let's stick with business for now. Right now, it would be very easy for me to pick up the phone and call another 10 people and onboard another client. And I might have more revenue this month because I can charge a setup fee and I have an extra, monthly subscription. But what about the other clients that I already own? The other clients that are already managed, I know that they're going to suffer because part of my intention is going to that new client and making sure he's onboarded well. And so what about taking care of the ongoing maintenance? Like everybody wants the reoccurring revenue, but no one wants the reoccurring work. And right now, for me personally, it is about creating systems and processes and optimizations to make sure the amount of energy and effort it takes me to take care of my existing revenue is very optimized. I want to free up my time with people, with talent, with systems, so I can go back on outreach mode. And I've been very frustrated by how long it's taken me to build all of this. And mind you, it's been only a couple months, but it feels like for a long time, And I think this is going to be a key of success, having that system in place and having a person in place to be like a success manager and to maintain the reoccurring revenue, making sure each client is we have systems in place where each client feels like they're a very, very important client, while we have optimized our resources so that it doesn't take us too long to maintain and upkeep all that work. And as we have that set up, I think it's going to be a great moment to pour more on the gas, just having that foundation poured. Think of it as a skyscraper. If the goal is to get as high as possible, you just want to have a solid foundation. And a lot of people learning on YouTube how to be a business owner and doing things on YouTube, like taking YouTube information, applying it, they just want to go so high so quick, and they don't realize that the person taught them about where they can go has been doing it for years, 5 years at least, and sometimes more than 10 years. And you're like, super young, super new to this thing, and you think you can have the same results in a super short amount of time. And mind you, there is these people that are just super fast at things, and it's just, they're out there, and a lot of times it's what's it called? Like Alex Hormozy uses this example of a bridge across, a river, and you have all these bricks in place, and you're not across the river yet. There's no money flowing across the bridge, so to speak. That's the example he uses. If the goal is to, get traffic across the bridge, you have all these bricks in place, and then, you have that one missing brick, and as soon as that brick is added, the breakthrough happens. Like everything is in place, all the other bricks are in place, and it looks like, that one brick was everything. But the fact is that there was another 15, 20, whatever, 100 things that you have learned before that missing piece that got you into place. And so, you know, it's just the way it is. The good things take time. There's way more to it than, you know, people are telling you. And I'm just, you know, sharing my thoughts, and I feel better sharing my thoughts, and I hope this helps someone out there that is feeling stuck, that is feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm not where I want to be. The good things take time. The oak tree takes longer to grow, and it is worth doing the right thing. Just, you know, talking about it from an ethical standpoint, one of the ways that people give me business for my web design agency and web hosting agency and, you know, some marketing clients, the way I get business is by people referring business to me, because I refer other people business. And the last thing I want to do is provide a crappy service for someone that was referred to me by a friend. And it's just a whole nother level. Like, if you have people that you genuinely care for, you just want to do a good job. And I find, especially in the online world, like when you're providing a service that can be done from anywhere in the world, I feel like what's lacking sometimes is just that kind of the commitment to that actual person. Even like, let's say you're cold calling someone from across the country or even across the world, you're not going to be as close to that person as if you're able to meet that person in person. And if you're actually you know, you live in the same town, or you do business on the same block, it's you're committed differently, knowing that the person you're doing business for is just down the street, and you're going to bump into that person sooner or later, if you're in business with that person or not, like if you're doing work for that person or not. And so it just something that I feel like needs to be put out there. Like, do good work, you know, and then on top of that, the referrals will flow, everything else will flow. There's just something valuable in knowing, but between you and yourself, you know, between you and God, that you did the right thing, you know, that you didn't screw someone over. It's very easy to screw someone over if they're at the other end, on the other end of the country. You just cold call that person. They watched an ad from you. They thought like, oh, you know what, yeah, I can trust this guy. Let me give him a try. And then it's easy, you know, to not have that commitment. And I think a lot of people are wanting the short-term success over the long-term, you know, long-term success. And should have said this in the beginning. We're serving 50 clients right now in our web hosting agency, and the first client signed on exactly a year and a month ago. So it's been 13 months, and month to month, you know, subscriptions. Not one client has canceled in 13 months, 50 clients. And, you know, I think the total revenue is probably maybe 100 grand from all of the businesses. Maybe not, maybe close to that. So it's not like a crazy number, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to live what I say. And yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thank you. I wish I had said it earlier, but it's just such a crucial part of being in business is you want to do the right thing. You want to put your money where your mouth is. You want to put your actions where your mouth is. And that's why I'm choosing to slow down my growth and to make sure everybody that has been receiving service from me is getting treated like they're king. You know, they're the first 50 clients, you know, that they got to get the best service. And it's been encouraging to me to hear the feedback from clients and to hear the testimonials of like, oh, this has been happening. I've gotten this much money from you putting this piece on my website, and having people say like, you know, you're going to be my go-to guy, and having people actually call their friends to tell them about my services and what it's done for their business. And I just think it's going to be a way better way of marketing, and just a way better way for me to sleep at night, to know that I've been trying to do the right thing, and I can look someone in the eye. Like, if let's say someone had a bad experience, and obviously if you're in business for any length of time, there's stuff that goes wrong, and being able to fix those things and being able to have capacity to fix those things because you're not drowned in new clients, that is a good thing. You know, I guess you don't want to be too focused for too long on just the fulfillment and making sure people are taken care of. While that's always there in place, you obviously want to grow. That's absolutely my go-to. maybe people are wired differently than I am. I'm just wired for growth. I want to get more clients. I want to provide more service. I want to do more for people. And somehow my success is measured by, the top line. But the problem is, you want to think bottom line. If you're losing clients, if you're making messes, that affects your bottom line, and you just are not going to make more money long term. You might make more money short term. And then, especially over the lifetime of a customer, this is just talking about lifetime value of a customer, which I haven't done the math on my clients, how much they're worth to me as of this moment, but it's probably between, if I have to guess, it's probably between, $2,000 and $8,000 per client, lifetime value, depending on, how long they're going to stay. And I don't know, because no one left. So, I don't have any churn. I have no one has left. And the way I think about it is, if you onboard a client, if you onboard someone with like a really good experience, and if you check in on these people, and this is, just shout out to Alex Ramosi for talking about this on all his videos. Like, if you make sure people are communicated with, if you make sure issues that come up, and they come up all the time, if you make sure issues that come up are dealt with professionally in a good way, it's almost like it's better to have dealt with the issue than not have the issue at the end. Like, sometimes it's uncomfortable to have to fix a mistake that you make, or something breaks and you have to fix it, and you have to tell your client that you broke something and you had to fix it. It's almost better to have to do that than not having any of these things. And yet we strive for not having things break and stuff like that. I'm just trying to say, like, take care of what you have, take care of all these things. And I do hope that by me telling just how I feel and how my experience went, it just makes it a bit different than just me talking about like some fluffy stuff. But this is how I feel. This has been my process. And if you are someone that found this valuable, give it a like. It helps me make more of those videos, because I want to know what you guys wanted to hear. And just like the video, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.